Question and answer time with Todd and Aaron.
It's time for Q&A with TNA. By the way, that stands for Todd and Aaron.
All right. Welcome into the program here today. This is another wild and wacky episode of Q&A with TNA. That is Todd Downing. I am Aaron Montgomery, and you can find us right up there at oursuccessgroup.com. Todd, how are you hanging in there today? It's a Monday all day.
I'm here Monday all day for sure.
Yep.
It'd be nice if the rain would stop, man. It just, we got pounded with it. It's just, I think the rivers, we went down and checked the river. It's just about, it's flooded up. They've closed the park. We're probably another foot before it comes over the road. And then that's when real fun will start to happen. But it'd be nice. I just need that stop.
Yeah. That looks like you're in the same boat. We've had a lot of rain in the St. Louis area too. I was out yesterday, walked through the yard, and it was like squish, squish, squish. In fact, Christine says it's rainy up there in Michigan. I think right up in this area here of Michigan.
Right. It was right up there.
Am I doing the wrong hand? So anyhow,
I think yeah. It was crazy because I sold my Beetle. Not by choice. It was kind of forced upon me to sell it. So we did that, and the good home that it decided to go to said, hey, it's supposed to be a nice Sunday, so let's get it then. Sure. Well, here it did nothing but rain, and they still wanted to show up and get it. And now, mind you, this thing hasn't moved for 4 years, and there's Lake Todd around it in mud, and I was just not a happy camper about that because it was right in the middle of me cooking ribs, and it basically screwed my rib times up, and and the ribs didn't turn out how I wanted them to. And that's kind of how my Sunday went. It was great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, these things happen. So, you'll have to try again, I guess, make ribs again.
Of course, I'm going to make ribs again.
All right. So, Tanya checking in, and Renee. Yes, I figured that was coming. Renee, hiya. How are you? Good to see you. And Martha, thanks for joining us. Facebook user.
FU.
No, Facebook user.
That's right. FU, right?
Stands for, yes, Facebook user. So here's what we'd like you to do, if you don't mind, if you'll head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give them permission to show your information so we know who we're talking to. This is a Facebook thing. They don't allow third parties to see information out of groups. So if you're catching this from the Business Basics group, if you've done it before, you may have to do it again. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles, so to speak. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for us, we'd appreciate that. That's StreamYard.com/Facebook to check
even
that
easier is just to head to liveosg.com and watch it there on YouTube, right?
There you go. Yep. And while you're over there on YouTube at liveosg.com, make sure that you are subscribed to the OSG channel. If you're watching it from Todd's Fat Dad group, if you wouldn't mind also checking out, just go to Our Success Group and find that. Or if you want an easy way to find that, like Todd said, just go to liveosg.com. That will get you there. We'll put that right there for you. And let's see here. Christine, we've had flood watches here too. Todd, been raining nonstop since yesterday. Our roof leaked again. They redid the roof last year. Ouch.
Doesn't sound like they redid it right.
Yeah, exactly. Wade, thank you for joining us. And Eileen and Nan and Pilar. Yes, thank you, Pilar. Please hit the like button. Speaking of Pilar, I carry my mask with me all the time, so I have to show it off because I love it. It's been great. I have to pull it out of my backpack here. So Pilar Custom Special here. It's got a nice little wire in it for the nose, so it fits really well. And there's a removable filter. It's all washable and the whole nine. So thank you very much. And then I took some printed vinyl from a guy I know, really cool guy I know, sitting right over here. So anyhow, have to always show that off. I love it. And my wife and son love theirs too. So I know Pilar is working hard and sewing like crazy. So appreciate her getting those done for me. Let's see here. Got another Facebook user, Todd. So we'll, Tanya, man, it's awesome. We are got a whole bunch of people checking in today. Appreciate that. And Lauren. All right. So is Lauren. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you jumping over there to YouTube. Pilar says sewing as I listen. So Eileen said here in SoCal they had unexpected rain, so it's the country is getting a nice rinse. It sounds like in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good time. Renee, Pilar, I don't know. You guys got to work this out here. I don't know. I don't want to be in the middle of this. No, I'm just kidding. All right, cool. So, Todd, what else? What should we jump into the question?
Yeah, we can right.
Or do we?
We can do whatever you want. You, sir, are controlling the board.
Oh man, that's too much power.
We can talk about what exciting happened. Oh, not exciting, but over the weekend, Penny's filed for Chapter 11, so they're going to close 29% of their stores. So they're going to drop off 211 of them. Ours most likely will be one of them because we have 2 in our area, and so if you're choosing between Iowa and Illinois, and you're literally 10 miles apart, yeah, the Illinois is gone. So we're pretty sure that we'll lose our pennies here in the mall. So we got that going for us. Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough one. We were talking about this actually on Friday night at the Decorators Community Party, and they're saying that Penny's is a COVID casualty.
No,
not at all. In fact, Christine just chimed in here and not surprised that Penny's is closing stores. It was only a matter of time. Yeah, it seems like this was a long time coming, and they're going to take this as.
They're going to do the smart thing and restructure. They've got
because it's not the first time they've done it, as far as I recall.
And what they're doing smart. It's why I get what every major retailer that if you're not expanding, you're stagnant. Sales are dropping. You need to shed the ones that aren't. And focus on the ones that are. That's just. It's business how you do that. But they're going to split into 2. So they're going to probably go one retail side and then one property ownership side. So they'll always have that property because, that property is where the money is. I think they list assets anywhere from 1 to 10 billion with a B, and a lot of that,
wow.
Assets is the property that they're in. So that way the pennies may go away, but they will not go away because they will still own those stores and still be able to do just fine on that because it'll be split off. And I think it's the same thing that Toys R Us did. They own the property that they were in, and now they'll turn around and lease it out from there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Eileen says, I think they were talking about, there was talk around Christmas about them closing. So Renee asks, does that leave an anchor store for you, Todd?
So we have a Von Mar that will be an anchor store because the Dillard's converted to they converted to Dillard's clearance or Dillard's outlet, so that's there. Dick's is kind of associated with the mall, but they're not really so much of an anchor because we lost Yonkers 2 years ago. They lost Sears like 3 years before that. Out in the parking lot, Gordman's is on their last leg there. I think they're finally closing that store down. So yeah, we've lost quite a bit in around our mall. So casualties this year will be Penny's and Dillard's. Previous to that were Yonkers, Toys R Us, Best Buy. So that was all right there within a block of our mall, all in our little area. So yeah, it's a good time. And every one of those stores, besides Toys R Us, is available, 5 to 10 miles away across the river in Iowa. So when it came time, and Sam's, we lost to Sam's too. You don't hear too much about that, but yeah, they closed down the Sam's Club. And the thing is, when the Sam's one, that store is probably only 6 years old. I mean, it's not even, an old store or anything. It was a brand new store. They redid it or built it ground up. Beautiful store in there. But when it came time to restructure and where things at.
All right. I don't know if I just lost you, Todd, if the internet's still being funky over there. So I'm going to talk over you if you're talking right now. So I apologize. Richard, hello. Thanks for checking in. And Mo, we appreciate you checking in. Oh, there we go. Something happened, Todd. You're back.
I know. It just all of a sudden I was talking and That was it.
Yeah. Yes, the joys of fun internet sometimes. All right. Well, let's get to our question here, Todd. Unless you had some other stuff before I cut you off there.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I'm working on a budget. How much should I budget in for training and travel for shows and education?
As much as possible. Really, I mean, it should, because I think it goes for anything. You know, the more you spend on that, the bigger return you're going to get back on it. You know, traveling, I mean, you can go to a show, depending where it is. You know, if it's local enough to you, you could go to the show, drive there for the day, and turn around and drive home. You know, stay there for the weekend, fly into shows. You know, I would say anywhere from, on the low end, 1,000, on the high end, for where we are in our businesses, and that 25, 30,000. You know, it just depends on what you want on that training, that travel, you know, and the education. You know, it's what's your goal? What do you want to do? Because, you know, it's just like anything else. You know, it costs money to make money, and I think any of those you're going to do it. Trade shows, you know, where you're really going to get your turn at on is attending, you know, the classes and seminars, and then the networking. You know, that's what are, to me, the big things that are there. And then any of the education that's offered out there, you know, from business coaching to, you know, hell, anything. You know, even I've taken some education recently on stuff I'd never know before, just because I don't know I'll ever get it, but I just want to kind of know how it worked, you know, just to get a better understanding of when I say, hey, can this be done? And they look at me with, you know, the glazed look again, like, Jesus, how many times do I tell you? Now I understand why they can't do it that way. And also it helps me be a better person to send things out to.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, the more you can put into this, I think the better off you're going to be, because that's just you know, for every dollar you spend on education, that's growth. You know, that's something that you are going to get back. So, you know, it's not like you're just going, okay, here's the money and it's going away. You know, it's not like, you know, buying a coffee. You drink the coffee, you get that little energy boost, and it's, you know, it's kind of done. You got to refill. But education is something that you are going to be able to take with you forever, and hopefully you're taking that and you're building it, and you're growing on that, and then you're gonna go learn the next thing, and So as far as shows go, you know, the show landscape in our industry is definitely going to change. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think they were already kind of in a place where they were still trying to figure things out. You know, you saw MBM making a bunch of changes as far as like trying to figure out if 3-day shows versus 2-day shows and all sorts of stuff like that. You know, Impressions kind of had their anchor shows, but they've been bouncing around a little bit, and, you know, they've been pretty affected pretty greatly. You know, because Impressions and the Impressions Expo is just a really kind of small cog in this much bigger company. They're owned by a parent company. And, you know, so I think everything will kind of change a little bit, but I don't think they're ever going to go away. I mean, like Todd mentioned, the value that you can get out of the networking, and once we can get back to being face to face with folks, is huge. The value that you get out of, you know, being able to go touch and feel the equipment and stuff like that. And honestly, the value that you can get out of going to a show and getting fantastic deals on equipment too is you know, a little underrated, I think, too. So I don't think they're going to go away, but I do think that they will kind of continue to change. So you got to also continue to change and evolve, and think about, you know, focusing more of your training dollars onto online, you know, business coaching groups, masterminds, things like that. So, you know, obviously we saw that writing on the wall a little bit, Todd, and that's why we created our success group.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it fits a good niche of what it is. And, you know, the riches are in the niches. You know, that's what we figured out. And, you know, ours is helping, you know, that micro business grow to become, you know, the bigger business from there.
Yeah.
For me personally, on the show side of it, I think some of the best information that I ever got wasn't from going to the show, or wasn't going for any of the classes, or sitting in on a seminar, or actually trying to learn, but it was definitely the networking, the people and the connections that you made with it. Just, you find somebody that, you know, is doing the same thing you're doing and is going through the same problems you've had, and it just, you know, having that extra person there to be able to run things through and talk about, and here's this, here's that, and that whole camaraderie that comes along with it. That's where I really picked up good from it at.
Toy just came down the stairs, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Tractor.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, Tractor got us. Tanya, good question. Really good question. I was actually just going in my email to look, and so I could kind of copy in the exact details here, and I'll just read. This is the latest. The decorators community is actually an exhibitor at all of the DAX shows. So I get some of the inside scoop because of that. So here's what I got about Chicago. And yes, as of right now, it's still rescheduled for August 7th and 8th. And here's what the folks from DAX told me. It says, we talked with the general manager of the Tinley Park facility, and he is cautiously optimistic that there will, and will being all caps and italicized, there will be, they will be able to have the DAX show on the new dates of August 7th through the 8th. This would make Chicagoland the first show in our industry to open since the COVID-19 outbreak. Illinois Governor, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce his last name.
J.B. Pritzker.
Thank you. J.B. Pritzker recently released a plan for Illinois to open in 5 stages based upon guidance from the Illinois Department of Health. So that's what we know as of today. And I know, Todd, you living there in Illinois, you have mixed feelings about that.
I don't think it's going to happen. The way the stages are set up. I mean, even right now, the going by what is written in print and saying, if everything holds to it, the soonest that we're going to have any restaurants open up is June 23rd. And so that's just restaurants, and they're going to be at a limited capacity then. So you're telling me from June 23rd to August 7th, which is 6 weeks, they're going to go from that to be able, we can go ahead and have a convention. And it would be different if it was more downstate, say somewhere Springfield, Peoria, here in the Quad Cities, farther, down there, maybe even not so much close to St. Louis, but maybe Springfield-ish. But, Tinley, with it being right outside of Chicago, it goes Chicago and then the rest of Illinois. So, it's, I would love for it to be, and I hope that it will be, because, it'll kind of be that jump start that everybody needs. But I am cautiously optimistic. And, the good thing is we live close enough where we can drive up. So, I don't have to worry about too much. But then that's my thing there is, how many people are going to show up to it, and everything could change by August. Something could happen and people start getting used to this is the way it's going to be, and we're fine with it. But, are vendors willing to, to travel? Are they willing to, pack up everything and take it through there? And I don't know, I just don't know.
Well, if it's happening, I will be there. And, if I've got to wear my mask, I'll wear my mask. Yep. And I'm going to be there, and I will give air high fives from 6 feet away. And
that's going to be the worst, is how to not, this is going to really sound bad, me saying this, but how do you not touch people?
I know.
Because
shoot, you've hung out with me. I always, want to shake hands. I want to, tap you on the back, and like I said, I like touching people. So
and then just even the networking after. Think about the DAX show there afterwards. When Scott puts on that great dinner, everybody's in line, and you're all nuts to butts in there lined up. So how's that work? The spacing's there. I couldn't imagine having 6-foot circles in there. How long would that line go back? That's that would go back through the hotel and around the corner. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. Tanya says thank you. It depends on the vote Wednesday too, I believe. So Todd, are you aware of a vote that?
No, because I think that at the end of it, Pritzker's going to get what he wants out of it. Doesn't matter what happens. This is
okay.
This is how it is, and he's been, they, like in Wisconsin, they got sued, and here, everything flipped over. In Illinois, that doesn't happen because they just find another judge and it'll agree with the party line. So
okay.
It's going to be. Hey, I take it day by day,
right.
It's just right now as it's scheduled, we still don't even know come the 29th if we'll be able to open. That was our guesstimate date that we'll be able to open up there at the mall with how we're going to set things up now. But we don't know, because with the mall being, a gathering place of people, that could be put on the list where, no, that's not going to get open. And we just kind of wait and see.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Definitely some good comments here. Renee says, and who will want to eat off a buffet? And then no hugs. Yeah, that kind of definitely. So, you know what though? It sucks, but at least we'll be safe and healthy, and we'll still, get as close as we can get. So
Dude, I'm totally hugging. Totally hugging.
Right.
Oh, you're not buying? I'm hugging.
All right. Well, there we go. That will be weird at the shows. Christine says, if you want to give hugs or shake hands or that sort of thing, definitely requires some adjustment. Yeah, there'll be lots and lots of awkward moments.
You need that 6-foot hula hoop around me, so that way I know, hey, I can't get any closer than that. That's.
I think we need to get like skirts though that have like some things sewn into them that we can all wear. Yeah,
I was just going to do suspenders on a hula hoop.
That's a good idea. Okay, that'll work.
That way, if you have one on and I have one on, we've got 3 feet in there.
We're good at that point.
Half the hoop, man.
Let's see here. Pilar says, I totally agree about the networking. My inner circle really got cemented from finally meeting face to face at shows, which, yeah, definitely a big part of why I've, I mean, obviously, I enjoy the digital thing and I've been doing the podcast and we do this kind of thing and all that stuff, but the actual going to the shows thing and just actually being there and having that opportunity to sit down and actually take your cup and go cheers and that kind of thing it's just kind of, I don't know, it's humans, right? We're humans, we need that a little bit. So
I didn't even think like Renee said, who wants to eat off the buffet? I didn't even think about that when it comes to afterwards when we go to the bar and we're all having some beers and when there's all the appetizers there, like how do you not just pull this or pull that from there? I'm confused on I don't know. It's like, but then again, I think we've been tied up so long, that it's okay. This is just how it's going to have to work. So man, it's gonna be crazy. It's like I want to just put mittens on my hands so I can't just pick stuff up. Get with it.
Yeah, exactly. Pool noodles. Yeah, in fact, Martha said, I saw a restaurant that has people wearing pool noodles on their heads to ensure 6 feet. So,
Nice.
Lots of, I've seen all sorts of ads for different plexiglass kind of movable dividers and partitions and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's just going to take some creativity. So
I think the one restaurant is that's really going to have a good time with it is Dick's Last Resort. I mean, think what they can do now. 6 feet away, you're just getting your food chucked at you now.
Yeah, exactly. Lauren says, "Don't think I won't show up in a Victorian dress." Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, one of those big. My date for my senior prom decided that her dress was going to be one of those big old hoop dresses, and she was already about 5'2", and her dress was actually wider than she was tall. It was, oh God, what a horrible night it was because she was the only one there with that. And she was like, so self-conscious, but I'm like, it's fine. You look fine. But then, we couldn't dance because yeah. So it was pretty hilarious. But anyhow, let's see here. They are hanging clear shower curtains in restaurants in Colombia. So creativity, we'll see some major creativity come out to see what we can do to, make everybody comfortable, safe, and healthy. So
yeah,
good. Oh yeah, we could all be Southern belles and wear hoop skirts. That'd be a way to be sure they keep their proper distance.
Well, you use that umbrella too. If somebody got too close and just whack them with it, it's not complete unless you're not wearing the umbrella or the hat.
What about the umbrella hats, like those ones that you? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wear the beer hat so that way I can have that go under my mask. Remember, we figured that out.
That's right. You got to get the beers on there and then the under the hat. Gotcha. All right. Cool. So Todd, I think that covers our question for today at 25 minutes in here today. So, good thing that everybody talked me into not picking off this question on what was last time? Thursday,
yeah.
So Thursday we're going to need some more because I couldn't not do just one.
Yeah. So get your questions in at OurSuccessGroup.com/QA. Should be right down here at the bottom.
Yep.
There's no question off limits. Anything, it doesn't have to be business orientated. It can be whatever you want, whenever you want. Because we've got, if my math is correct in my head, we've got 1, 2, 3 left of these, three or 5, and then it'll go to like, once every other week. So, gotta get them there now.
Yep, your math would be right. Well, so 25th, 28th, and then the next one will be on a Wednesday the 3rd, and that will start the every other week frame. So we want to, again, we brought this little program on to be able to give an opportunity for us to kind of, stay in the mix and as things were crazy. And, we've talked all sorts of things on this program, from, PPP loans to COVID to blah, 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 so on and so forth. So, that was the whole point. And now that we're starting to, I know, Todd, you're busy as heck right now. In your business.
It's been fun. It's finding that pivot point and making a run for it and working for it, and bill out, press out, keep going. And there's been things that people have asked that we haven't done for a while. We're like, yep, let's get back into it and remember how to do it and do it. So it's worked out well, and we'll just keep pushing on.
Cool. Excellent. All right. Layla says, I finally located all the incoming mails from OSG, all in my spam folder.
That makes Aaron happy.
It does make me happy, except for the fact that they were in a spam folder. I still I don't know. I'm using Sendgrid right now, and it's helped. But I'm actually going through a program with them on Thursday to try to even kind of get a little bit more. Just, it's crazy to me because, I don't know, maybe it is because it is a newer email address. We haven't had success at oursuccessgroup.com for very long. So anyhow,
there's too many S's.
It could be. Should it just be Todd at oursuccessgroup.com or Aaron at, or
we just switch it to the live OSG. Maybe that'll you can install stuff at the live OSG, and then that's it.
All right, cool. So tomorrow, Todd, Tuesdays with Todd. Anything on the agenda already, or is that still to come?
Yeah, I had it. I think I had it written down here. I don't know if I have the right notebook here. No, I don't have it.
Okay.
The other one. It was something good. It was.
I know it's going to be great. That's not a question. Cool. What time is it? Let's start there.
Tomorrow 4.
Still at 4. Okay.
Yep, still at 4.
All right.
I want to say pivot sounded familiar, but I don't know. I think I had some other stuff in there with artwork and that stuff too. It was trying to figure out the best way to show here's the difference, when you send good artwork versus bad artwork. But the problem is I need to find bad artwork because I don't want to show bad artwork and make somebody feel bad about sending bad artwork. So I don't want to put somebody in that spot where I'm like, no, this, to be able to explain it out from there. So I think that one might be more of a how and why later on down the road of, this is what happens when you send this. This is what happens when you send this. And I've learned over the last couple of weeks that a lot of people don't care, and they just print and go. You submitted it, not my fault, but get out of here, and they just go with it. And I just can't bring myself to do that because my print quality may be great, but if your artwork is not, the first thing you're going to blame is me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like we've talked about, I've heard, lots of people have talked about, that garbage in, garbage out is is a tough one. Pilar said she can send you bad artwork. So, or Renee said, just use mine that never comes across right.
We had this great one with Renee's where it was a crab, and it was done in Photoshop. So Photoshop does weird things with layers when it tries to, send stuff around. And when I got it and I actually went to print with it, I'm like, and this just doesn't look right. The crab, the claw was black. I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to be black. But I went back through every piece of artwork that Renee had sent me, and it was black on all of them. I'm like, maybe it is black, but it sure as hell doesn't look right here. So then I sent it to her, and she goes, no, that's not right. She went back through everything she saw that she had sent, and it was black somehow or another along the lines. Something happened, and we ended up with a black claw. But anybody else would have just printed it. It didn't look right to me, so I inquired, and after some searching, we were able to see, this probably looks this way different. So It's always fun to spot those out for people because, what are they gonna do? They're gonna get it, say it's wrong, and then say, hey, we need to reorder, and then great for me, but I was in that boat once, so I spot a little. I can do it.
Nice. All right, cool. So you'll I don't know, you'll figure that out tomorrow.
I haven't figured out it tomorrow morning, and then I'll post it, and then I'll link it, and then we'll be good to go with there.
Okay. Cool. So 4:00 tomorrow, Tuesdays with Todd. Make sure that you are checking that out. And let's see here. What else? So we talked about Success Tracker last week, right? Was that was it Thursday that we were talking about it? And I said that our goal was to have it up by the 15th. So it just depends on what time zone you were in, if I reached the goal or not. Unfortunately, in my time zone, I missed it by a couple hours, but I did stay up on the evening of the 15th to get it done. So if you just, let's see here, let's put the link up here. There it is. Pretty easy. oursuccessgroup.com/ST. I will also toss this right here for you. So there it is on screen. If anybody wants to check it out. And so Todd, I don't know if you want to give people a rundown or if you just want people to head over there and check it out. I've got one last thing that I need to do is record this video, so don't if you're clicking on it going what the heck, it's just because there's nothing there right now. So
I say we have them go check it out, and then we'd give them once we're done with everything, maybe it'll be that Thursday teaser. Well, when we're back here, here's this, because by that time I think everything by then will be perfected out. But the long and short of it is here's a way to to track your success. Everybody just it's nice to have that little push and that little accountability. So that's always I think the biggest thing is that people don't have that accountability. It's once you put something down, it's down. Now you have to do it. Now, when you have other people that can look and see it and be like, hey, this is what you said your goals were, what's going on. And that push really helps you, attain those goals faster, I believe.
Yep, definitely. Cool. So check that out. And like Todd said, we'll talk about it more on Thursday. If you got any questions, I will be sending out something tomorrow morning to all of the members of OSG about it, because you can get it for just $1 instead of the $20. So in fact, I'm making myself another note here. There we go. I like having whiteboard on my wall, so I just take it. Okay. Real quick though, Todd, before we call it an afternoon here, Chuck said, how's your sleep schedule going? I believe I heard you mention it Saturday. That is correct. Saturday's Small Business Saturday was about a better morning routine. And so sadly enough, I went through, I said, okay, we're going to try to get ourselves 15 minutes back, and just kind of keep working our way back. Well, first thing I had to do was figure out what my average go to bed time was.
It was not in the morning.
Well, it was not as late as maybe it could have been, but the average time going to bed was 1:30 in the morning. So that's not so great, because there definitely were a few like 9 and 10 o'clocks in there that should have brought that average down quite a bit. But unfortunately, there were also some 3s and 4s in there. So, so 1:30. So yes, I made it to bed by 1:15 last night. I did get up this morning and I got in the stretching, got the tea, got the, took my blood pressure. So that was in a decent place. So that was good for the day. And I was happy about that, and kind of got my list of the goals that I was going to get done today out there. And so far, so good. I've got one more thing to check off, but I wasn't able to get through a couple of things. So good start. I will probably post something over on the OSG page a little bit later, because hoping that everybody else is trying to improve their morning routine as well. Todd, I don't know. I know you had some didn't quite make what you were shooting for today.
Dude, the damn birds! What the hell? It's not even bright outside. It was 3:30 this morning. It's like a swarm of them just out there, just cackling away. And then it's like I told Corey, she likes this time of year when you can have the windows open and there's the cool breeze coming in. And there's this and that. Well, she can sleep through anything. I hear the birds, and they were just nonstop. So from 3:30 till the rest of the day. That was it. It was like, I could go back to sleep, and I maybe would sleep for anywhere from 10 minutes to 40 minutes, and then hear the birds again and be up for 10 minutes to 40 minutes. And yeah, so it was horrible. It was really, really horrible.
Oh man. Well, hey, you know what? That's okay. There's always the next day. So, my goal for tonight is to make sure I'm in bed no later than 1, and I'm going to keep moving it back 15 minutes. And actually I was looking at the list, and if I do this and I can actually keep to this, and I do get 15 minutes every day, by the end of the month, I should be able to start heading to bed by 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, the goal is to then also be getting up earlier in the morning. And so that's all part of this. But, we talked about on Saturday, a big part of improving your morning routine is to actually improve what you do the night before. So,
right. And there's going to be times where you're going to stay up later because,
sure.
You got 2 weeks on next take care of things. That means you're about, 11? No, you're not going to sleep before then, because, that thing seems to go to like 4 a.m.
Yep. Yeah. And so there's definitely times where you got to do what you got to do. But again, just trying to make it, I don't know, I guess I hate saying this because I know what this is, but I'm trying to flatten the curve, so to speak, get the average down to where, I know that I will always be a night owl. It's just who I am at kind of deep at heart. Exactly. But at the same time, I can also consciously control that and make sure that I am working towards, just making some improvements there. It's, like I said, I'm never going to not be a night owl, but at the same time, I know that for my health, for my productivity, for my success, I have to make some changes here. So, just a matter of saying, yep, this is going to happen. So, I took the time to work through all of the times I'd gone to bed to get my average starting time. Then I took and wrote out a checklist of each day and put the date and the time that I wanted to be in bed by. So that way, and I put that on as you said, Kylene's going to love more Post-it notes around, but guess what? Another Post-it note on the wall. And, so now I can check that off and keep moving forward. So lots of fun there.
Proud of you for doing that. Good job.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right, cool. Well, Todd, I think we've covered it for today. So unless anything that we missed,
we got training Wednesday, marketing gear, right? That's Wednesday. Yep. And then back here for Q&A with TNA on Thursday.
Awesome. Yep. And then Friday. Friday is actually going to be, so on Friday after our show with Christine, that was fantastic, where she talked about how to know when it's time to jump. I had mentioned that we were going to do niche marketing coming up this Friday, but I was actually mistaken. And I'm surprised Eric didn't slap me, because actually our guest on Friday is going to be Eric Campbell. And we talked about it, and it's actually going to be a 2-part series. So we're actually going to put niches in between the two. So this Friday, we're going to, and we'll talk about more on Thursday, but this Friday, we're going to talk about e-commerce and some common mistakes that people make as they get into e-commerce from Eric's perspective. So we'll be interviewing our producer. So that'll be a lot of fun, but anyhow, we'll talk about that more come Thursday. So tomorrow though, make sure that you guys are tuned in to all of the fun places. Todd, the usual suspects, right? The group.
Yep.
Are you going to be over at Live OSG as well? Okay.
We'll be everywhere.
Okay. All right. So make sure that you're checking that out at 4:00 Central, guys. So just make sure that you've got that on your calendar for tomorrow, and come check out Todd with Tuesdays with Todd.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Have a great night, and we will talk to everybody soon.
See you then.